Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone. It's your boy Mr. Degenerate back at it again for another video. And man, I've been thinking about Street Fighter 6. Y'all, I know we haven't seen no gameplay. We haven't seen shit about it. But your boy is just excited for some Street Fighter 6, man. I am so looking forward for Street Fighter 6. I am praying to the elder gods that Street Fighter 6 is going to be fucking amazing. And that is going to be on the level of Street Fighter 4, even better. And I was recently watching a podcast by the name of Triple KO, and it's run by Maximilian, Mike Muscle. I said Mike McMuscle? Matt McMuscle, my bad. Matt McMuscle and Justin Wong. And I was thinking to myself, shit, you know, they make a good point. They was talking about guest characters in one of their episodes, and I was like, shit, man, that would be fucking dope if Street Fighter 6 had a fucking guest character. Because I was like, think about it. Capcom, you look at how they handled the rival school character and how much love and attention they gave to that character. With all the mechanics from rival schools, they've added it into the into Street Fighter 5's mechanics so well. I was like, wow, that's so amazing. And then I look at other games they've done, such as Marvel vs. Capcom, the way how characters in that game do special moves and how characters are animated. The Marvel characters are animated, and how much love and attention those characters have been given. I was like, why doesn't Capcom ever do a guest character in their own in a mainline Street Fighter game? And I think Street Fighter 6 is the perfect opportunity to do something like that. Now I know people are gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, Street Fighter doesn't need that shit. Street Fighter's got legendary characters. Yeah, and I'm always gonna be down for more legacy characters than guest characters coming back. Like, personally, Street Fighter 6, I would love my boy Sean to come back, and I want him to be gooped up, revved up with the hoodie, with electricity eyes. I would love him to look fucking dope. But I also am open to the idea of guest characters coming in, and I'm from any fighting game. I know SNK and Capcom has had a relationship in the past, and also SNK is at the height with King of Fighters 15 being out. It would be dope if they did a collaboration, and I know it's going to be a generic character, but Terry Bogard would be a nice guest character. I also would love to see how they would make him look and make his moves look in the RE engine. Like, listen, that would be fucking crazy good. A Samurai Showdown character, I know that would be kind of weird because they would have swords and you can't do blood, but that I still would be open to that. Just a cool guest character. Of course, as a Tekken fan, I would love, I don't know if they will ever do this again, but I would love a Tekken character to be in Street Fighter 6 as a guest character. Like, again, I the problem with Tekken Cross Street Fighter wasn't the fucking characters. In fact, I really enjoyed how they was able to translate some of the Tekken characters into a 2D environment and make them really fun and unique and awesome, but also I felt like they represent those characters perfectly. However, you know, the problem with that game was a bunch of other bullshit. Microtransactions, some unbalanced gameplay, gems, all some bullshit on this DLC, all that bullshit. We're not going to talk about the Dark Ages of Capcom. We're going to move into the light. But just to have those characters be back would be fucking dope. Now, I can also see the negatives of it. It could run into an NRS situation, which my biggest complaint with NRS and how they handled DLC in Mortal Kombat 11 was that they focused way too hard on the guest characters and not bring attention to characters we haven't seen before or iconic or legacy Mortal Kombat characters that from especially around the 2D area that didn't get a chance to shine, didn't get a chance to be reimagined. And it was always kind of annoying to me that the guest characters always got the spotlight, but they didn't focus enough on, I guess, more 2D era characters. But it is what it is. So I can understand that could be a complaint or something along the lines. And, you know, although I personally love the RE engine, and I think the RE engine is fucking dope, and I cannot wait to see how characters look in the RE engine. And like I said, this is why the RE, the guest character idea would be fucking dope, because I would love to see how guest characters would look in the RE engine. Maybe certain characters are not going to look all that great in the RE engine. Although I would argue that so far with all their games, even their hyper fantasized games, so far have looked amazing in the RE engine. And Devil May Cry is a perfect example. And that game looks absolutely stunning. Characters look exactly how I would think they would look. So there's some concerns to be had, but I think Capcom could do it. I have faith that Capcom is gonna pay respect to those characters and not be so stupid with them. So, you know, I have faith in Capcom, but it would be totally fucking dope if they had did guest characters. And also another thing is that the guest characters, it don't have to be like a bunch of guest characters. It can only be one. You know, I think guest characters also bring in a lot of casuals. You know, again, I'm gonna use NRS. I think their idea of how they do guest characters is kind of fucking genius. Like, they always have a theme with every single guest character. So like in Mortal Kombat X, it was like the horror slash slasher slash 90s sci-fi horror, which was Aliens and the Predator. Those were like the big highlight characters, and those are fucking cool. Those characters were cool. In MK11, it was 80s slash 90s action heroes or action movies, and that was fucking cool to have Spawn there. Like, Spawn was fucking, the way how he animated and everything in that game was dope, even though I think Spawn gameplay is kind of boring. But the way how he looks in that game, and then voice, you got Keith David coming back to do his fucking voice as fucking Spawn was dope. All the intros were fucking dope. I would love that, man. I would love that energy, and I think casuals would be totally down, because again, I say this before and I'll say it again, Street Fighter V really burnt the casual viewpoint of Street Fighter. People's not really fucking with it, so it'd be nice to have a guest character come in and just kind of like show how it's done, show how the guest characters would be. Now, I'm not saying don't do no fucking random characters that don't fit. Like, I don't want a Negan situation in fucking Tekken, like in Tekken 7. Like, that was weird. Like, why Negan? Out of all characters, Negan? Okay, whatever. But it is what it is. I just think a guest character would be dope. But, you know, I would like to hear from you. what would be a guest character you would like to see in a Street Fighter 6? You know, you look at how guest characters are even treated in, I would say, Smash Brothers is fantastic. So I do think Capcom could learn a lesson from these other companies that's doing guest characters, and just kind of like try it. I know they're gonna give it the 100% respect that it deserves. Hell, like shit, give it shit. Like, do Guilty Gear. Have a Guilty Gear character in a fucking Street Fighter game, man. Like, let's just fucking go for it. But anywho, I'm off this. I'll catch you guys later. Stay safe, degenerates. Love you guys.